This might work. The family decided to go to sleep, so we might get a random Hearthstone stream in. We're going to be testing a lot of stuff out tonight, seeing if my setup is going to work and all that other good stuff. So let me do the usual YouTube updates real quick. This won't take too long.
Do it. Maximize.
Wow, Pixel, you were quick on that. Oh, I just realized I don't even have a thumbnail. Alright, let me... Almost done. Where? There it is. Gaming. So do you play any card games, Pixel Knight? Man, did Hearthstone come out in 2014? Well, I have nothing better tonight. Okay. I think that's it for all the starting soon pleasantries and whatnot. Like I said, super casual. I just really like card games, and I haven't streamed any. So I decided if I can get a night where maybe the family goes to bed a little early, maybe I can throw one in. So let's jump. Let's jump to here. Pixel says, not really. I like researching them, like the Mega Man X one I plan to do a video on. Oh, nice. Well, yeah, let's, I have cords everywhere. The only thing I need to control this game is a mouse, and so it's like right in the middle. I have two laptops, so I have the laptop I play the game on, the laptop that runs the stream, and then I have the monitor with the chat on it and everything. So let me start up the game. Hopefully it's not too loud on my TV. So whenever I stream PC games, I treat them just like a console game. I take the PC and I hook it up to the capture card, and then the capture card goes into my television. So I can see the game on the television when I'm playing it. Pixel Nice says, now I have an excuse to rewatch the Space Sheriff trilogy of shows. Space Sheriff? You got me on that one. Okay. I can't hear it at all. Is it coming through the stream? Let's see, do I have the volume turned down? Options. No, volume's up. So how come I can't hear it? Oh, what do you mean, Napsy? Are you still streaming? I popped in on your stream a little earlier. I'm gonna see if I can fix the sound on my television. Okay, that worked. Pixel Knight says, remember VR Troopers and Big Bad Beetleborgs? Those are Japanese versions of them. Oh, okay. I didn't watch VR Troopers, but I did watch Big Bad Beetleborgs. And Napsy says he's done. Yeah, I popped it on your stream as I was rocking my baby to sleep. But then she fell asleep and I had to go upstairs and put her in bed and get all the other kids in bed and all that good stuff, so. I came down here and it was like 10 o'clock and I was like, you know, I might be able to get a Hearthstone stream in. Okay, so card games. I really, really like card games. Card games, they bring together two of the aspects about video games that I like. I really like planning and improvising. And so in card games, you make a plan of how you want the game to go. You make a plan on what you're going to do. And then you have to improvise. And then you have to improvise based on the randomness and based on what your opponent does. So let's just create a new deck real quick. Let's do a Druid deck. We'll just do core Druid. So you can see as a Druid, flexibility is part of your nature. These core cards allow you to accelerate ahead of your opponent and adapt to their strategy as you choose. Perfect, that was just what I was describing. I didn't mean that to line up, but hey, it did. Okay, so we've got a deck. So we're gonna get core Druid, and right now I'm rank gold 5. I don't know if this deck that we've kind of thrown together is even gonna be competitive at this level. I don't think I've ever been this high on the Hearthstone ladder. When I started playing Hearthstone, I started, I think, 2 years, a year and a half into the game. And back then there was a casual mode, so you could play ranked games, which were the ladder games, or you could play casual games where there was no ranking attached to it. So I played those. And so I never really climbed the ladder at all. So I don't even, like I said, I don't even know if I'm even going to be competitive with this deck on this part of the ladder.
Time waits for no one.
Oh, I have to click end turn. Let's see. Pixel says, I'm currently watching the first one of the trilogy Space Sheriff Gavin, who actually appeared in Power Rangers recently. Oh, really? Sweet. Napsy said, did you see any of my first run? Your first run on Hearthstone? Or not Hearthstone, on Minecraft? I jumped in on a Be Right Back screen, and then you were discussing how you were playing Minecraft Dungeons. And then I think you jumped into Minecraft right after that. Pixel says, David inspired me to make a Smack Studio, a Steam game. That's the whole... Oh, yes. I have seen David stream that, where he puts in different characters. So, yeah. Make Gavin for the game I meant. Oh, okay. Okay, so in Hearthstone, you play as a hero, and each hero has a different class. Right now I am playing a Druid. And from what I understand, I know that this game is derived from World of Warcraft. And from what I understand, all the classes in here are from World of Warcraft. So the way that the flow of the game goes is at the beginning of the game, you're given 1 mana. And then at each turn, you'll get an additional mana. And so you can see I'm up to 6 because I've been using cards that accelerate the mana that I get, while my opponent is at 5. So you use the mana to pay the cost, which is the number in the blue gem on the top left of a card. So next turn I will get 7 mana and I will play Ancient of War. This card is a minion, which you can see is listed at the bottom of the card. And with this minion I can choose one of these. I can give it +5 attack or +5 health and taunt. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it +5 health and taunt. Now you can see the Z's on my minion. The first turn that you summon a minion, it can't attack. This is, in card games, this is commonly known as summoning sickness. It comes from Magic the Gathering, the first trading card game. And this game is a derived, simplified form of that. I'm not nearly as good at Magic as I am at Hearthstone, and I don't even know if I'm good at Hearthstone. But I just really like games like this. So, Pixel says, well, it was an American version of Gavin who had a different name and backstory. Oh, okay. So what my opponent did was he just cast a spell. There's 2 kinds of spells. There's minions or spells. And so you can see they've played a minion here, Wand Thief. And then they played a spell to freeze my minion. If a minion is frozen, then they cannot attack that turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to increase the pressure by playing another Ancient of War, but this time I'm going to give my Ancient of War +5 attack. And the reason that I'm doing that is, number one, I'm playing against a mage, and the mage class specializes in casting spells. So they will likely, with 9 cards in their hand, they will likely have a spell that can deal 5 damage to my Ancient of War, or freeze my Ancient of War, so that I won't be able to attack with it. But this one right now, I've played just to increase the pressure on my opponent. Maybe they don't have anything. They just played a spell that allows them to draw a card. So maybe they don't have anything to stop my Ancient of War. But this Ancient of War that I played and gave +5 health and taunt. Oh, see, that I was expecting that. But this one is going to be harder to take out because it had 10 health and it still has 9 left. So what I'm going to do is I have 9 mana, so I'm going to play a Sleepy Dragon. So this is taunt, 4 attack, 12 health. Then I will attack with my Ancient of War and end my turn. Pixel says, really? I thought the mage punched stuff. No, not that kind of mage. Okay, so they've just played a minion with an effect. Every time they cast a spell, this minion is going to get spell damage +1. What spell damage does is just what it says. It increases the damage that your spell does. So this Ignite spell, it did 4 damage instead of 2. And so now they're playing the card Cram Session, which would usually only let them draw 1 card, but instead, because they had spell damage +3, they could draw 4 cards. And so you can see they're gonna just run with this. I see their strategy. Yeah, I see. Yep, they're... Arctic says, are you dead? Oh, no, yeah. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna try to... So right now this guy has spell damage plus 9. Now it's spell damage plus 10. And so if they just keep increasing the spell damage, they'll be able to just kill me with spells. Oh, yep, and there it is right there. So while I was doing the more traditional play minions and attack the opposing hero, this mage was going all in on, I'm gonna get a minion out there that's going to increase the damage of all my spells, and then I'll use my spells to just do damage right to the face of my avatar, the Druid, and I'll just be dead. So we're gonna try this deck one more time. This is the core Druid deck. So it's very standard. If we go into the collection, Pixel Knight was asking if there's a monk class. So if we come down here to new deck, these are all the classes. So there's Demon Hunter, Druid, Hunter, Rogue, Priest, Paladin, Mage, Shaman, Warlock, and Warrior. So we just quickly made a core Druid deck, and we're going to use that one more time as I explain the game. Done. Back. But yeah, how you doing, Arctic? Hope you're doing well. So like I said, this deck probably is not competitive at the level that I'm at, where I am on the ranking ladder, but just having fun, we're gonna run with it. I'm gonna get a blanket real fast though. It's cold down here.
Malfurion versus Anduin.
A just cause is always worth fighting for.
Picks one 0 out of 10. No monk class. I think the closest thing they have to a monk is the priest. And I have a priest deck that I'm pretty fond of. Okay, so at the very beginning of the game, you get a starting hand. And if you have a hand like this where, look, I have a cost 6 and a cost 7 card, I'm not going to be able to play those until turn 6 and 7. So I'm going to replace those. They will go back into my deck and I'll draw 2 new cards. I'll keep Pounce just in case I need it. Okay, so here I have a cost 9, which is not going to come into play. But here I have Wild Growth, which I can play on turn 3, which will give me an empty mana crystal. And so we'll use that to kind of build up our mana faster. So here you can see the priest. So we got a priest avatar. Oh, and one thing about every class is they all have a hero power. So I'm going to use my hero power to gain 1 attack and 1 armor. And then I'll attack the priest. And the priest hero power is restore to health. Pixel says, listen, if there's a monk class, I'll be playing it. The reason that I'm playing this online, or the reason why I'm streaming Hearthstone, is because we had a Yu-Gi-Oh night in the Discord server, and it actually was really fun. But I think it would be more. I think it would be fun if we also did other card games like Hearthstone or maybe Magic: The Gathering Arena. Oh, this is trouble. This is trouble. So the card he just played, if this card costs less than every minion in your deck, reduce the cost of every minion in your deck by 3. So since he got this card and was able to play it turn 3, that's gonna put me in a real tight spot.
This is not what we stood for.
Alright, so I'm gonna play my cost 5 card. Taunt means that you have to take out all the taunt minions before you can attack the hero or the non-taunt minions. Divine Shield pretty much gives me a free hit. The first time I get dealt damage, it counts as 0. And then Deathrattle is an effect that goes off when he leaves the field or when he dies. And so his Deathrattle effect is draw your highest cost minion. So he's probably going to attack into it. There he goes. And then I'm guessing he will heal that guy. Oh, he didn't. Oh, no, he was out of mana. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my hero power to give me 1 attack. And then I'll be able to take out this guy. And I can then attack him with my minion. Since I have 4 mana left, I'm going to play my Nordrassi Druid. And then I'm going to play Power of the Wild, which will give my minions 1/1. Actually, we'll summon a Panther this time. Okay. And that'll end my turn. He says, did you start Magic the Gathering Arena? I did. I played through the tutorial. And that's it. I have not created any decks. I haven't done anything in it. So, Pixel Knight says, I'll be the golf commentator, calmly saying that Seth sent someone to eternal punishment in the Shadow Realm with a fate worse than death. Alright, I didn't see what he played, but it's going to show up on the side here. This is a history of what's been played. So, oh, he played Renew. Restore 3 health and then discover a spell. Ooh, that's tricky. So you can see his guy is also 5 health.
Give it time. The world tree is healing.
Okay, so this time we're going to give our minions +1/+1. And so this minion has 4 attack and 6 health, while my opponent has 5 attack and 5 health. So if I attack into him, my guy will have 1 health left, and so will his. And then I can press my button to get 1 attack and 1 armor, and then I can attack into it. Now I can attack into the opposing hero and then be done. Napsy says, did you do all the color challenges? I did, yep. That's the tutorial for Magic the Gathering Arena. So there's the shout out for Jake, who is not on this stream, but has been playing on the Secret of Mana streams. Pixel Knight says, the best part is that it was invented by 4 kids as a way to make it less dark for kids. What was? Oh, the Shadow Realm was. Yeah. Because in the Yu-Gi-Oh cartoon, if you lost a game, you just died. Okay, so they're playing a spell. Napsy says, I'll send you my... Oh, yeah, totally. Ooh, a 9/1. Alright, we can handle a 9/1.
Would you help a weary traveler?
Hey, Michael, yes, it happened. I'm telling you, the stars really had to align for this to happen. The kids all got to bed early enough. I came down here and it was about 10 o'clock my time. And I was like, oh, you know what? I could make this work. I could make this work. Okay, so we're actually going to... Okay, so I still have my guy with taunt, which means that he has to attack my taunt guy first. So what I'm going to be risky, and I'm going to attack right into the enemy hero.
Time heals all.
This card will give me 1 extra mana so that I can play my 9. So I'm going to play Enervate, which will give me 9 mana for this turn. Then I can play this, which allows me to deal 8 damage, which will put my opponent at 5. So that'll put him in a tight spot. So we will see how he handles this. He can take his 9/1 and attack into my taunt. That will kill it. Or, oh. Soul Mirror is a very powerful card. It summons copies of all of my cards and then has them all attack each other, which will kill all of my minions except for one. Now he still needs to kill my last minion, because if I attack him with my last minion and then I attack him myself, that'll do 5 damage and he'll lose. But he still has 2 attacks, or he could heal. That'll work too. So, yep, that's gonna put me in a tight spot. So now I need to put up some kind of defense. I don't even know what's in my deck. I think my best bet is going to be to play Ancient of War, give it +5 health and taunt, and then attack into one of his guys. So I'm hoping that he can't take out my Ancient of War, because if he can take his Inquisitor here and attack into me and win. But like I said, we're pretty much using a starter deck. Oh, nope. I don't think we're going to be able to come out of this one. So his minion now has lifesteal. All damage that it deals heals my opponent. So we're just going to see what else we had in our deck. And we'll play the taunt. And we will play 2 pounce cards and attack into our opponent. And then we will end our turn. And if he's gracious, he'll just attack in to me and end the game. But, you know, he's earned this turn, so we'll let him do what he wants with it. But yeah, Michael says, I just happened to check my messages and saw I woke up at 3 a.m. in my recliner last night and completely missed the stream. That's okay. Did you go F to P or did you drop some cash for packs to get started? In Hearthstone, I first started playing Hearthstone, I think it was 1.5 years into it. And then I took a break, and then when I came back, I dropped some cash to get some packs. So there's a big gap in my digital collection. But now we know, for anyone who wasn't familiar with the rules, now we know kind of how it works. So we're going to go ahead and delete this core Druid deck. And we'll do a different Druid deck. This is a Druid deck that I made called Anti-Meta. And the whole point of this deck is just to it's kind of to punish my opponent when they do things. If I have this Ogremancer out, then whenever my opponent casts a spell, it summons a minion for me. This Far Watch Post, whenever my opponent draws a card, it will raise the cost of that card by 1. Things like that. So let's jump into a game with this deck and see if we can get anything different. Seth doesn't know the meaning of sleep. My bedtime is usually around 1-2 a.m. and it's the weekend, so I'm not worried. Pixel says, I just watched the first Ninja Turtles film again. Which, the one from the 90s or the one from a couple years back? Okay, so we're going second, so we get 4 cards. This card, Oracle of Elune, is one of the important cards of this deck. If I play a minion that costs 2 or less, it will immediately summon another copy of it. So our starting hand is really good. We're going to go ahead and confirm that. So now my opponent has 3 cards. They're deciding what they're going to do, and I'm playing against a warrior. The warrior's hero power is gaining 2 armor. So while my hero power was gain 1 attack and 1 armor, their hero power is going to be gain 2 armor. Michael said, okay, so you aren't stuck with a couple of starter cards then. No, I was just using a starter deck to kind of explain the game if anyone wasn't familiar with it. My rank on the ladder, I really don't care about it. I was saying earlier, when I first started playing Hearthstone, I never played rank. I always played casual. Alright, we'll see what he's got. Okay, so I have my 1 cost of Vibrant Squirrel. When this card is killed, it will shuffle 4 acorns in my deck. And when I draw an acorn, it will immediately summon a 2/1 squirrel to my side of the field. Pixel Knight says the 90s one. I haven't seen that one in such a long time. Okay. Okay, we're gonna play our Loot Hoarder and then attack with our squirrel. Get him, squirrel. Okay, this guy must be playing a deck that goes all in on the big stuff. Now, sometimes I would hold back my Oracle of Elune and wait until I, like, turn 5 so I could immediately use its effect. But I have Ogremancer in my hand. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my Oracle out, and this is kind of bait.
Hey, give me that!
It's meant to pressure my opponent into playing something. He's going to have 4 mana, so the question is, can he do 4 damage to stop my Elune? If he can't, then I'm going to play my Brawler here, which costs less than 2, and it will immediately get duplicated. And my Brawler has Taunt, so even if he were to summon another minion, which he did not do. Alright, 2, 3, 2, 3. So this card is cool. Encumbered Pack Mule. As you saw, when I draw it, it duplicates itself, and it's a cost 2. So if I play it, then my Oracle's effect will go off, and then I get another one. So, and then if I do it again, I'll get 2 more. That's why that Oracle is so important. Now I have a lot of pressure on my opponent to really make something happen. He needs an area of effect spell, or a card called Brawl to play. Oh, and it looks like he doesn't have that, because that costs 5, and now he only has 3 mana left. And that's really the point of this deck right here, is to put a lot of pressure on my opponent right from the beginning. I got another Encumbered Pack Mule. The reason I can't play it is because you're only allowed to have 7 minions on the field at one time. So I'm going to play this spell, Arbor Up, which gives me all of my minions 2 attack and 1 health.
Crystal clear.
And then I will attack with all of them.
Hey, give me that!
And I think that's game. So if my opponent was playing a deck that had higher cost cards and was really, waiting to overwhelm me with large monsters, then my deck is going to win a lot of the time. Because the whole point of this deck is to really put pressure on my opponent. But the weakness of this deck is if my opponent has a lot of area of effect damage spells, like deal 3 damage to all minions, if they have a lot of those kind of spells, then it doesn't matter how many small minions I summon out, they're not going to, they're just going to get wiped off the board before I can attack with any of them. Pixel Knight says, oh, you think I was going to call a Michael Bay film good? I haven't even seen the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies.
Malfurion versus...
Okay, so we're fighting a priest.
The light shall...
Generally, priest decks are also heavy on the healing spells, and they try to hold out until they have enough mana to play bigger cards. But that's not always the case, so we're going to go ahead and replace our 5 cost. You can see I got Vibrant Squirrel in my hand again. Very lucky. So we can... Oh, and I should have put my pack mule in the deck as well. Because I didn't draw it, so it's not going to get the duplicate effect. Kronos says, "Ah, Hearthstone." Yes, I'm a big fan of card games, but I haven't streamed any of them, so... The family went to bed early, and so I was like, oh, we'll fit in a surprise stream. I've been enjoying myself. I've pretty much been talking about the game nonstop. Okay, we'll play our pack mule and we'll attack. Now the priest ability is heal 2. So one move that he might do is just, I did 2 damage to his hero and he might just heal 2 damage just like that and then call his turn. Kronos says, "I admit I never got into the card games, not even Yu-Gi-Oh, but I did like the anime." You can see I got the duplicate effect on that one. I started playing... It's funny, I started collecting cards when I was in middle school. I had a Pokemon card. Someone gave me a Nidorino Pokemon card. And I just traded around until I had a pretty good collection. Okay, this is good. So this card, what this card does is it can't attack, but this is the one where if my opponent draws a card, then it makes it cost more. So I'm not even going to attack because I don't want to attack into his pack mule. I want him to attack into mine. Perfect.
You can take my...
Okay, so he's just played 1. Whenever your opponent casts a spell, add a random spell with the same cost to your hand. Okay, so we're just going to not cast a spell. What we're going to do instead is we are going to play Ogremancer or Twilight Runner. Ogremancer punishes my opponent when they cast spells, and Twilight Runner lets me draw cards when it attacks. But of course, it can't attack the first turn. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to attack with our Vibrant Squirrel. That's going to get those acorns in my deck. And then we'll go here. And we're going to play the Twilight Runner because it has more attack.
Job's done.
So, then we'll end our turn. So... yeah, when it comes to card games, I was collecting cards in middle school, but I didn't know how to play any card games until high school. And then I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Copy the next card your opponent plays to your hand.
We come from far just to see you.
Ooh, what card am I going to play? Does that count? Does Acorn count? No, it doesn't count. And what does this do? At the start of your turn, copy a spell from your opponent's deck to you. Okay, so this priest deck is all about copying what I have. I'm going to let him copy my
This is not
Board Ring, which is a really good card, but that's the best play for me right now. Kronos says, I have to cheat to win solitaire. I just want the card that knocks you out and takes all your cards. It usually looks like blackjack, though. Pixel Knight says, I'm a fan of dice monsters. Okay. Okay, good. So now I get to draw my highest card. He's going to play his, which I was expecting. Yes, Pixel Knight. We're talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Space Sheriffs. Okay, now I want to get...
I wonder.
I don't want to play a spell because he's got a card that punishes me when I play spells. But I think I'm going to... I could play a minion. I don't have any taunt minions.
What to do?
Let me see. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna play my Oracle.
Reflect in the moonwell.
And then I'm going to play this card. This is, again, the card that will increase the cost of the cards in his hand when he draws them. And that'll duplicate it and make it 2. So now we'll do this to go here. This to kill it. And then we'll take my squirrel and kill that. So the reason we wanted to do it in that order was because when he drew his highest cost card, because of my 3 towers, it went up by 3. The cost went up by 3. So really, this puts him in a spot because now he has to pick. Does he want to take out my Oracle or my towers? Which he's just going to copy them all, so yeah. So he decided to take out the Oracle first. Okay. See, this is a very interesting deck. The priest deck that just copies your opponent. Okay. So I don't have anything on spells, but none of my minions can attack. So I'm going to play a spell that will do 7 damage randomly amongst all my enemies. And this will definitely take out some of those towers. Stop hitting the hero. Hit the minions.
I see.
Well, that didn't work. Okay, so I'm going to attack the last tower myself.
Job done.
Oh, and then I'm out of mana. So what I'm hoping he does now is I'm hoping he takes his Elune and runs it into one of my towers without healing it, and then it will die. Okay, that makes sense. He's going to heal it first, then attack into mine. Now, he gets the effect. Oh, so that copycat would have gotten copied, except it didn't cost less anymore. They usually cost, oh, it usually costs 3. Okay, how are we gonna handle this? We have 9 mana. So what I can do is I can play this. Okay, this will punish spells. I do have a guy with taunt that I could play. Alright, we're gonna play Ogremancer. Yeah, we're gonna play... Which one do I want to let him copy? Yeah, we're gonna play Ogremancer. And he'll get a copy of that. And then we're gonna play this Watch Post, which does the same thing. It can't attack.
Time waits for no one.
But if my opponent plays a minion, it will summon a minion for me. So now, no matter what he does, when he draws cards, I'm going to increase the attack of those cards. If he plays a spell, I'll get a minion. And if he plays a minion, then I will get a minion. And that's kind of the whole point of this deck, is just to kind of trip them up from doing anything. Okay, he's tired of me increasing the cost of cards when he draws them, so he's gotten rid of those. Okay, he's gonna play his, which will get me a minion, and he's got 4 mana left, so let's see what he plays. Play a spell. He did play a spell. That's gonna get me another minion. Okay, so I want to take out his Ogremancer. So I'm going to attack into it with everything. Okay, now, how else can we put him in a tight spot? Let's play this spell that summons a 6/6 with taunt. And then we'll play another Ogremancer.
Job's done.
You.
So if he plays any cards, I'm going to be getting minions. And I want lots of minions so that next turn I can play Arbor Up, which will buff my minions with more attack points, and then I will be able to attack into him. Now, unless he, again, if he plays some area damage spell that, you know, damages everything on the field, then I'll get my minions, but they'll be wiped away instantly. So we'll see how this goes. I kind of feel like I've gotten some pressure on him. Oh, unless he rotates all the minions. Okay, he took my 6/6 for himself. Okay. What are we gonna do now? I could still play Arbor up. Okay, so this minion has Rush. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna play this minion. Rush means that he can attack other minions immediately instead of waiting for a turn. And then when he attacks, my hero gets 3. That'll take out him. Now I can play Arbor up. This will give me 2 minions and then buff all of my minions. And then I'll attack into the hero.
Time waits for no one.
And that's game. Okay. I really liked his deck. That deck that kind of steals everything from your opponent. My deck is generic enough that it works. Oh, if you're just going to steal my cards. Pixel Knight says, it was a joke, Seth. All I know about Dice Monsters is that it was the failed Yu-Gi-Oh! Spinoff. Oh, did you say, oh, you said Dice Monsters. I thought you meant Dice Games. My bad. Kronos says, the manga Yu-Gi-Oh! Is definitely darker from what I've read of it. Oh, that's very true. That's very true. The winner is you. Yay, winner is me. Victory. Pixel Knight says, I haven't watched the new episodes of The Flash since I'm waiting for it to be on Netflix. But after 8 seasons, Flash finally has the gold boots. Oh, okay, cool, cool. My brother Jared, he used to watch Arrow a lot. Okay, so we're gonna take this anti-meta out for another spin. I'm at the point in Hearthstone where I have built 3 decks that I like playing with. But I want to do some tweaks on my priest deck. We'll probably do that tonight. But yeah, as long as the baby doesn't wake up, I should be good to stream for a little bit.
Mine is
Probably another hour and a half.
I must protect the wild.
Wow, we are really lucky getting the vibrant squirrel. Okay, so what I've done is I've been set up for a really good turn 5. I can play Oracle of Elune and then my Battle Guard. And my Battle Guard takes my taunt minion cost down by 2. And so if I play this card, then this card, that will reduce my other cards by 2. Oh, I'm set up for a really good turn 6. We're probably not going to have... We're not going to wait till turn 6 to play that, but... So if I play the 3 and then the 2, and that'll reduce this card by 4, making it 1. Ooh, a Demon Seed deck.
Begun. My greeting.
Alright, we'll start with our standard opener of Vibrant Squirrel. And we'll see what they come up with. So I'm playing a Warlock. As you can see, the Warlock has a pretty unique hero power. Take 2 damage and draw a card. And the Warlock played a quest card. Quest cards are really interesting. They're guaranteed to be in your opening hand. And this one is quest line, take 8 damage on your own turn. And then you get a reward and then you go to the next step. Pixel Knight says also there's going to be a live-action Mega Man movie for Netflix. Yeah, Michael brought that up in the Discord. So you can see what my opponent is trying to do. He's trying to rack up a bunch of damage so that he can get through his quest line really fast. So I gotta say, this has been something that has been nice for me. A couple weeks ago, Bonzinator. Okay, so we are going to hack into here and play my Trog. Now again, when my opponent casts a spell, it will duplicate my Trog. So we'll see what they do. Again, it's all about putting them in a tight spot. Okay, they're gonna go with Deathhead Cultist. Deathhead Cultist heals your hero when it's destroyed. So we might actually get to turn 6 and be able to put up that crazy combo. I think I want to play my coin. You get the coin card for going second. And I'm gonna play my Ogremancer. We'll just keep a little pressure on him. If he casts any spells, I'm gonna start getting minions. Excuse me. But yeah, a couple weeks ago, I just started my stream and Bonzinator sent me a link on Twitter. They said, hey, you know, this Mega Man poster is coming out, and I saw it and it made me think of you. And then we had our in-office holiday party today. And so I went in and I met with one of my coworkers, and they came in and they said, hey, Seth, I heard this story that made me think of you. Do you know they're going to make a live action version of Mega Man on Netflix? And I thought, I have heard of it, but I'm pretty honored that, you know, you would think of me. And I told him, I said, I think Disney has ruined my appetite for live action adaptations right now. All right, we drew an acorn, which summons a squirrel. And we're gonna play Eye of Cthulhu, which is our spell that deals 7 damage randomly among all enemies. Oh, and it almost killed all of them. I was hoping that it would. But it didn't, so we'll just finish the job ourselves with our minion. And that is going to get us to turn 6. When Michael brought it up in the Discord, the one thing I said about the Netflix adaptation, I said as long as they keep Mega Man as a robot. If they try to turn Mega Man into Iron Man, where it's like a boy or a man who changes into Mega Man, then I'm gonna be against it. Mega Man is a robot. He's a robot that acts like a human. He's not a human. Chrono says it can't be worse than the fighting robot cartoon, could it? I actually have that. I have that cartoon. And it is just like peak 90s sitcom cartoon. And so I enjoy it purely based on that, but it's not good. I agree with you on that. As far as whether it can be worse, I don't know. I hope not. Pixel says, listen, the best way for Mega Man to have a movie is either a jokey live action or sci-fi, or jokey live action sci-fi or animated film. Let's hope for jokey live action sci-fi. Okay. So what we're gonna do here is pretty tricky. We're gonna start by playing Oracle of Elune. And our Oracle is gonna duplicate everything that costs 2 or less. So now we'll play our Battle Guard that costs 2. And the Battle Guard takes the first taunt minion I play and reduces its cost by 2. And since I now have 2 of them, it reduces the cost by 4. So now my 5 cost Ford Ring is now a 1 cost, so it will also get duplicated.
This is not what we stood for. This is not what we stood for.
So that's a really good turn. We essentially put, what? over 10 mana's worth of minions on the board using only 6 mana. So that's a really good turn for us. It puts a lot of pressure on my opponent. These two guys are still on the field. If I have any other taunt minions, their cost is going to go down. If their cost goes down, that they can get duplicated by my Oracle. So we have an AoE damage spell, which took out a bunch of them. And again, that is the big weakness of this deck. But you'll notice it really took a lot of... He had to use a lot of cards to get all that done, which is exactly what we wanted to do. Okay. We've got 7 mana. After your opponent... Okay, my opponent doesn't play a lot of minions, so we don't need that one. Let's play Moonlit Guidance. This lets me discover a copy of a card in my deck, and then if I play it, I'll draw the original. Let's go with Park Panther, and then if I play it, I'll draw the Park Panther from my deck. He has Rush, so he can attack minions immediately. And whenever he attacks, my hero gets 3 attack. And so again, next turn, if I still have Park Panther, I can attack with him, and my hero will get 3 attack. And I also added my other Park Panther to my hand. So, again, having that Park Panther on the field is going to put some pressure on my opponent to get him off the field quickly, because every turn he's on the field and I get to attack, then it's gonna cause some heartache for him. So he does, yep, he kills it.
Sorry.
Oh, all right, so he plays Flesh Giant and a Bloodbound Imp. Now what's gonna come next for him is he completed the quest. You'll notice the quest is gone. And so his reward for the quest is going to be a minion that changes the game, so that whenever my opponent would take damage on his own turn, I would take that damage instead. And so what we want to do... Ooh, I don't really have a good answer to that. I don't want Big and Ugly taking me out.
I taste.
But that's pretty much all I've got. His move right there is going to be big. So he's going to play his Tasman. And then these 2 minions, whenever they attack, it deals 2 damage to the controller.
That is my currency.
But since he's just played Tasman, now when they attack, they do 2 damage to me. And so you can see all the pressure that's on me now. I can't really have those guys on the field. This is a big minion. And this one has lifesteal, so whenever it deals damage, it's going to heal my opponent. So I think I lost this one, but it was a good battle. Alright, so I can play Greybow, which is really cool, but I don't think it's going to make much of a difference right now.
For the wild.
What Greybow does is when he's killed, he gives the power to resummon Greybow to another one of my minions. So ideally you want this setup where you play Greybow, who has taunt, and a minion who does not have taunt, because remember, my opponent has to attack my taunt minions first. And you can see that with the little shield that's around him. So the best thing that would happen for me is if they attacked Greybow, and then when Park Panther is killed, then Greybow will be resummoned. But really all he has to do to win is attack with all 3 of his minions. Maybe I'll have 1-2 health left. If he attacks with Tamsman, that'll kill him. And then these 2 each do 4 damage. Yeah, so if he just attacks with all of his minions, then he'll win. So we'll see if he figures that out. Let's see, what, Pixel Knight says, hey, Chrono, listen, Ruby Spears is 80s cheese, and it's great. Chrono says, but Pixel, having the theme song play in your head for a week is not great. Oh, yeah, just various songs from the past have been going through my mind. No Baby Shark. Okay, so my opponent is either disconnected or they're so confident that they're going to win, then they're just gonna kind of like taunt me. Oh no, they left! So that actually counts as a win for us. They must have gotten disconnected. Bummer. Pixel Knight says, I have the Ninja Turtles 2003 theme in my head, and I don't mind that one. Chrono says, I'm not sure I've heard of that theme. Is that the one that goes, go ninja, go ninja, go, go ninja, go ninja, go? That's the only part that I know from it. I didn't really see that show at all. Chrono says, I do want to see Captain N shows again at some point. I don't think we will. There's so many licenses in there. It would literally have to be all Nintendo properties. Because the original Captain N had like Simon Belmont from Castlevania. I don't think Konami's going to sign off on that. Pixel says, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2003 is a very good show. Probably my favorite version of the Turtles. Though Turtles Forever wasn't good and the final episode that aired wasn't good. Oh, that's always a bummer when shows go out on a whimper. Chrono says, my problem has been there's too much good stuff to watch. Where do I start? It's being like at a buffet bar that has 3 floors. Where do you begin? Yeah, I hear you there. Chrono says, I got Hulu and Disney Plus, so I'm super behind. Oh, Chrono says, I appreciate the explaining because I would be clueless. Well, that's one of the reasons I wanted to stream it. I want to get some Hearthstone nights going on in my Discord, but I need to stream Hearthstone in order to attract people that would want to play it, or people that would want to learn. So, I enjoy explaining it. Pixel Nice is free win, yay! Chronos says Captain and wouldn't work quite the same way, would it? No. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I must have the wrong one. Chronos, that would be a blast to watch. a new Bomberman enemy. Okay, so we went up in rank. Now we're gold 4. Alright, so I'm going to show you a different deck. So I've shown you my kind of... So I called that deck the anti-meta deck because it's... The whole point of the deck is to put my opponent in a tight spot. Now this next deck builds over time. This is my Jace Cthulhu deck. So this whole deck is built around a 1-2 punch of Jace and Cthulhu. First I'll explain Cthulhu. I had Cthulhu in my previous deck, but I didn't explain it. Ooh, we're fighting another Demon Hunter. Okay. So I have a quest line in this deck. So it's a cost 1 card. It's always in your starting hand. And for this one, it's draw 4 cards in 1 turn. And if you do, you reduce the cost of all the cards that you drew by 1. We don't want that sigil in our opener. In fact, we don't really want Metamorphin. We want... Okay. Skull of Gul'dan is one of the key cards of this deck. So having it on our opening hand is good. Even though it's a cost 6. Okay, so you could see that happening in the previous games. Cthulhu the Shattered. What that card does is at the beginning of the game, it splits into 4 other cards. So we have Cthulhu, and it splits into the Eye of Cthulhu, the body, the heart, and the maw. And so it's kind of like Dracula in Castlevania 2. Dracula's been split up, and you put him back together, and then you beat him up. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to play all 4 of those cards, and if we do, then Cthulhu the Shattered will get added to our deck. And it's a really good finisher. Alright, so we're going to play our Sigil of Alacracy, which lets us draw an extra card at the start of our next turn and reduce its cost by 1. And so this deck has a lot of draw power. It lets me draw a lot of cards because the whole point of the deck is we want to get all the way through it. We want to draw all 30 cards in our deck because we want to find those 4 Cthulhu cards and play them so that we can get Cthulhu the Shattered and play that. And there's Jace. Now, Jace is the other part of our 1-2 punch. When you play Jace, it recasts all of the Fel spells. So I don't have any Fel spells in my hand right now, so we're just gonna attack into my opponent and end our turn. But I'll show you I'll show you what a Fel spell is on my next turn, because I can draw one with my minion Felgorger. His battle cry is something that happens when I put it into play from my hand. So when he ends his turn, we will go from there. Pixel Nice says, honestly, I just want to see more Plasma Bomber, aka Proto Man if he was a Bomberman character. And Pixel Nice says, or like a combiner form of Transformer. Yes, kind of like a combiner form. Alright, so you can see we've got 2 of our Cthulhu cards in our hand. We're going to play our Felgorger. So he will let me draw a Fel spell. You can tell it's a Fel spell because it says Fel at the bottom, down here. So we're going to leave that there. Now, this spell has lifesteal, so whatever damage we deal with it will heal my hero. And then it has an outcast effect. Now, outcasts are really only a thing for demon hunters. So here we have draw an outcast card. So if I play this, draw an outcast. So Crimson Sigil Runner. If I play this card as an outcast, as you can see with the prompt, meaning that I get a bonus effect if it is the furthest left or furthest right card in my hand. Right now it's the furthest right, so if I play it, it will let me draw a card. Okay, so we've drawn Fury Rank 2, which is also a Fel spell. We're going to cast Chaos Leech that will do 3 damage and heal me for 3, which is all we need. And then this guy, Metamorphin, if I've cast a Fel spell this turn, when I put him into play, he'll get 2 attack and 2 health. 2 more attack and 2 more health. Then our hero power, which I haven't explained yet, gives me 1 attack. So I play that, attack into the opponent, and that's going to be our turn. Pixel goes, Constructicons combine to form Devastator. Oh, what did he play? Fel Summoner. Okay, so it's got a Deathrattle of summoning a random demon from their hand. Now that's probably going to be not fun for us. Luckily, I have a plan. My Maw of Cthulhu will just straight up destroy a minion. And I can play this card, which will deal 3 damage. So hopefully when he summons another demon, it's not another demon with a crazy death rattle. So I deal 3 damage, summons the demon. At the end of your turn, summon a demon from your deck. See, that would have been really bad. See, because you'll notice this is a cost 9, and we're not even close to having 9 mana. So it's a good thing that we had that card combo so that we could put that into play and shut down that combo. Now we'll attack with both of our minions and end our turn. Okay. He's probably pretty disappointed that I pulled that combo off. So he's going to try it again. A 6. So he puts a cost 6 Fel Summoner out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play my Skull of Gul'dan, which lets me draw 3, and if it's an outcast, which it's the most leftward card in my hand, it reduces the cost of all 3 of those cards by 3. Good, good. We got good draws. Okay, we're going to play Mancrick. And then we're going to play Spectral Sight. This will let me draw 2. I play Pot of Greed. And then we will attack into the other hero. So he's going to try the same move. He's going to attack into my Metamorphin just to kill his own guy, and then it'll summon likely a bigger demon from his hand. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he casts a spell to kill my Metamorphin. This guy does have 8 attack, and he might just go right to my face with it. I don't know. Okay, attacks in. What's he going to summon? And this guy, so he has Rush when he attacks. He can attack a minion, and his ability is after the hero attacks, then he will also attack. So if what he's probably going to do is he's going to attack into me, and then this guy will also attack into me. That's a big problem, because he has 8 attack. And again, he's a cost 8. Shouldn't even be able to be played yet, but with that combo he's got, it's going to put me in a tight spot. So I really want this guy off the field. Lucky for us, I'm going to play Fellgorger and let me draw a Fell spell. That's the one I wanted. So now I can play this, and because it's an outcast, it'll deal 5 damage, and that'll take him off the field. That also healed me for 5. What we're going to do now is we're going to play Chaos Strike, which gives my hero +2 attack and then lets me draw a card. And then we'll play Double Jump, which will let me draw another card. Okay, and then we will attack into the enemy.
Mine!
And end our turn. Okay, so we're doing a pretty good job at managing my opponent's minions. We've got some of ours out. So you can see this card is also a demon. Like the Fell spells, you can tell it's a demon because it says demon in between the attack and the help. So this could have been another one that he comes out with and uses as a threat. Okay. Let's use our Sigil Runner to draw, because remember, we're trying to draw through our entire deck. Okay. Fell Barrage deals 2 damage to the lowest health enemy twice. So that's going to be this guy. It's going to do 4 total. And now I can play Skull of Gul'dan with its Outcast effect, so it's going to reduce a bunch of costs. Excellent. Okay, so now I have a bunch of 0-cost cards. This is really good for us. What we're going to end up doing is we're going to play another Fell Barrage. That'll do 4 more damage. And that will give him 8 armor, but we're going to attack into him anyway. We're going to play Sigil of Alacrity and end our turn. So we have 6 cards left in our deck. And we have the Heart and the Body of Cthulhu left.
Poor wars.
So we will see if we can pull off the 1-2 punch. If we can pull off the 1-2 punch, that almost guarantees a win. It should most certainly guarantee a win against a Demon Hunter. It's much harder to get a win against like a Paladin or a Priest. Ah, see, we got lucky. He didn't get that. If he would have gotten that earlier in the game and reduced the cost of all those big monsters, that could have been a big problem for us. Okay. So even though it's not... Oh, good. Even though it's not as advantageous. Alright, we've got our other 3 Cthulhu parts. So even though it's not as advantageous, this will deal 3 damage to all minions. We're going to go ahead and play it anyway. It will take that guy out. And then we will play our Body of Cthulhu. This will give us a 6/6.
I will break your body.
And then we only have one other Cthulhu piece that we need to play, which we have in our hand. The Eye of Cthulhu. That's why it keeps Piece of Cthulhu 3 out of 4, so this will be the 4th one. Oh, let's see. Chronolog says, They are, except Link is supposed to be more mature. I remember Link being not so nice in the Captain N series. I actually didn't watch a lot of Captain N. I don't remember. The only Link I remember was the one from the Super Mario Brothers Super Show where he goes, "Excuse me, princess." Oh, Pixel was referencing that Link wasn't that great in the Zelda cartoon. He was super punchable. And Pixel says, I like flawed protagonists, for example, Ben 10, but Ben had plenty of good moments and wasn't a jerk. Meanwhile, Link wouldn't shut up and it's just punchable. Okay, this is good. This is good. Okay, what we want to do... First of all, we want to kill this guy. So we'll do that. Then we're going to play our Sigil of Silence. And when you silence a minion, it takes away all of their abilities. So this guy, he has a taunt and a Deathrattle. And so it will remove those effects from that card. This is a setup for my next turn. On my next turn, we're going to use Jace. But on this turn, I want to use Eye of Cthulhu. So there's Cthulhu the Shattered that's been added to our deck. And there are 4 cards in our deck. Now we're going to play Metamorphin. And that's going to be it. So what we have successfully set up our 1-2 punch. Next turn, I'm going to play Jace, which is going to recast all of the fell spells that I played this game. Ooh, this is going to hurt. As long as I don't die, we should be okay.
Then strike harder.
Okay. Didn't die. Because a lot of the fell spells I've been playing have lifesteal. Okay, so we've silenced all of the opponent's minions. Okay, now I'm going to play this card, which gives me +2 attack and draw. And then I'm going to play Fury rank 3, which is +4 attack, and it's also a fell spell. Now I'm going to play Jace. So it's going to recast all of the other spells. So, +4 attack again. Deal 2 damage to the lowest guys. We'll take that one and that one. +2 attack and draw. Oh, I'm out of cards in my deck.
I am out of cards.
Okay, we're gonna... Oh, man. I'm not getting the order I wanted, but... Okay, so now we're gonna start casting spells that will heal me. They're gonna damage my own minions because all of these cards damage minions, but they have lifesteal, so they will heal me up, and that's what's important. It's actually not... It doesn't matter how much...
Vengeance is mine.
Job done.
All that matters is that I live to the next turn. My opponent has 10 health, and Cthulhu deals 30 damage randomly split across all of my enemies. So he either needs to put 20 more health on the board, or 21 more health on the board using minions, or he needs to drop me down, because I'm going to take, I think, 4 damage. If you try to draw a card and you don't have any, then you take more. Then you take damage. The first time you try it, you take 1 damage. The second time you try it, you take 2 damage. And I think... So yeah, there's 1. Maybe... Okay, maybe I only did 1. So I'm going to take 2 damage just when I start my turn. No, my opponent cannot see my cards. But they know that I have Cthulhu in my hand because I played... I set up with Cthulhu. So... That's... So yeah, he knows Cthulhu is in my hand. He only had 15 health on the board, so Cthulhu would wipe out him and all of his minions. That's the 1-2 punch of this deck. It's Jace, then Cthulhu. So we were able to pull it off just brilliantly on this go. We're gonna see if we can set it up again. This is the highest I've ever been on the ladder, so I don't know. Well, thank you for the GGs. That's the reason that I really like this deck. As I cast more Fel spells, my Jace gets stronger and stronger because he's just going to recast all of those spells. So,
Illitin versus Malfurion.
it's really fun for me to put this together like that.
Brother.
Okay, so we have Skull in our hand, which is important, and we want it to be the furthest card on the left. So we just have this, which we're going to play immediately, and then a Fel Barrage. So this is a pretty good opening hand as long as we can live to turn 6. Again, we're playing a Druid. Druids usually swarm the field like I did with my Druid deck. Some Druid builds are all about the big minions. And so if it's either one of those is going to be tricky for us to play through. We've got Fel Barrage that we can use to take out some smaller minions if that comes up. But we'll see where it goes. What I really want to see coming out of my deck is cards that let me draw more cards. So, cards like Acrobatics. Okay, so we might have a Druid build that's going to play a bunch of small minions and then try to grow them into larger minions. See, this is what I'm talking about. This gives me +2 attack and lets me draw. Drawing is important. Now I have 2 attack. I can attack into him. Pixel. Why is Ultra Magus so hard for me to design? Draw a card. Okay, so this is a draw a card. More. Okay. So his spell is a draw a card spell. This one. Draw a card, guess if the next card cost more or less. And he guessed more. So that tells me he has higher cost cards in his deck. So let's see. I could play Fel Barrage and that would hit my opponent for 4 and allow me to play Metamorphin. But I want to hold off on that because next turn I'm going to be able to play my Fel Gorger, which will let me draw a Fel spell. And then on turn 5, I'll play that Fel spell and Metamorphin. Remember, Metamorphin gets a boost if I play a Fel spell the same turn as him. So, we'll see. What did he just play? Oh, discover a spell. Your next one costs 3 less. Yeah, he's setting up. I wonder if he also has that cost 4 card that reduces the cost of all your other big monsters. If he does, that's going to be a problem. Well, it's turn 4. Let's see if he has it in that hand of 8. He's got 21 cards in his deck. I've got 24. I have more cards in my deck because we added those Cthulhu cards. Summon a 2/2 for each spell. Oh, that's not good. Okay, this is what we were waiting for. He's going to be... So his strategy is going to be summon a lot of minions and then grow them into larger minions. And we really don't want that. So let's try to take out as many of his minions as we can. Okay, the skull. All right. Okay. So this Sigil of Silence is going to be even more important. If he tries to buff his minions and I play this, that's going to erase all of their buffs. But it doesn't happen instantly. It happens at the beginning of my turn. Which makes it really good for setting up my 1-2 punch, but not as good at trying to counter buffs. Because you guys noticed that Arbor Up card that I played with my Druid deck. I can almost guarantee he's got that too. Oh, Pixel Knight's heading to bed. Remember to stay pixelated. Have a good night, Pixel Knight. Ah, see, there's that Arbor Up. Yep, yep. So he just grew his minions, which is not good for me. Okay, so I got options here. So I could play the Eye of Cthulhu and see if it hits this one. Or I could play my Sigil, take it... No, that's too much damage. Okay, we're gonna play our Eye of Cthulhu. Don't hit the hero, hit the minions. Stop doing that! Okay, that turned out really bad. So we're gonna attack into here and attack into here. Oh, that did not... That dice roll did not work well for us. So we're gonna take 11 damage in the face. That will reduce me to 11 damage. And next turn we're gonna play our Skull of Gul'dan, and we're gonna hope that we get some of those lifesteal spells that are going to deal damage and heal me. So yeah, you can see his strategy is get a lot of minions out there. Oh, I should have played my Sigil. Why did I... Oh man, that might cost me. Just forgetting to play the Sigil.
Alas, poor warlock.
Oh yeah, that didn't work out at all. Well, with that and the combination of me forgetting to play the Sigil, I think we've lost this one. But we'll play it out. Let's see, so if he's smart, he can take out my guy with taunt with a 4, and then he'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, so he's got 7 mana and 9 damage against me. So if he can up that... Oh, 10 if he uses his hero power. So he's going to be 1 off. If he can buff a minion or cast a spell that will damage me, then the game is over. Otherwise, I'll have 1. Fungal Fortunes. Interesting card. Lets him draw 3, but if he draws a minion, he's got to get rid of it. And it looks like he doesn't have any minions in this deck. All of the cards he's been playing are spells that summon minions. There he goes. So he buffed all of his minions to have 1 extra attack, and that's gonna do it. So GG. Amazing Ape. That's right. GG to Amazing Ape. Okay. We're gonna try this one more time, and then I'll move to my last deck. Boom, 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 boom. All right, we'll see what we got going on here.
Illidan versus Thrall.
For Doomhammer.
This ends now.
Uh-oh, I can hear my baby crying. My wife will be calling me in a second. Alright, let's do our opener hand, and then I'll go see if I can put her binky back in. Alright, we don't want Fury in our hand. We want that later in the game. Spectral Sight is good, and the Sigil Runner is good. Alright, I will be right back. Gonna go grab the baby, or see if I can get the baby comforted real quick. We're second, so hopefully it takes long on us.
grows short. Could you repeat that?
Oh, I missed my first turn. Shoot, that's really gonna set me back. Well, we'll see if the baby is satisfied. Because I wanted this to be my turn too.
Catch me if you can!
I'll write that down.
Baby's upset. What does this guy do? Whenever a friendly minion dies, gain 1 attack. Okay. I'm already down to 25. Let's draw some cards.
See.
Okay, lots of drawing cards. Now we need to start playing some of them. The baby wants to play in stream too. Yeah. If I hear her throw a tantrum again, then we'll adjourn.
Water is life.
Wow, what a good roll on your 3. Okay. Alright, we're gonna play double jump. I want not that one. Alright, we're gonna play the sigil. And oh my god. I-beam here. And metamorphin. Okay, there we go. Alright, we're in it. I haven't heard the baby yet, so maybe she'll be okay. At the end of your turn, summon a 3/4 elemental that freezes. Ooh. Well, that one's not gonna freeze because we silenced it with our sigil. Okay, so what we need to do, we've got to get back in this. Okay, so we're gonna use our Fury rank 2 to give our hero +3 attack. And the reason that we want 3 attack is we want to take out this guy who only has 1 attack, and then play Fell Barrage, which is gonna do 4 damage to the other guy and take him out. Then we will have our Sigil Runner here, and he'll let us draw into another Sigil Runner, which is perfect. And that gets us back in the game. Next turn, we'll play our coin and our Skull of Gul'dan, which will fill our hand back up again with cards that are going to be close to 0 cost. If he plays a big minion, we can play Maw of Cthulhu. But I think he's going to attack one of my minions. It's a bummer that his guys have 4 health. Most of my spells do 3 damage. What does this one do? At the end of your turn, give another friendly minion +1 attack. Oh, that's cheating now, isn't it? Okay, we'll play our skull, draw into 3. Perfect. We got Chaos Leech, which will do 5 damage because it's on the outside of my hand. And then we can attack into these guys. 4-2. There we go. Oh, and that is one of the great things about this deck. We can draw into cards and reduce their cost so that we can get more out on the board. So next turn we'll play Chaos Strike. That'll give us +2 attack. Let's see, in this card, 1 turn left. Okay.
Inner power.
Discover a spell that costs 1 or more. If you play it this turn, repeat. Okay, so he discovered a spell with a cost of 1. Now he'll discover a spell. And if he plays the next spell, then he'll get to do it again. That's a cool effect. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Is there no music right now?
There is little time.
Oh, it's just quiet. Okay. He's running out of time. That is one of the things I really like about Hearthstone, is it puts a time limit on opponents. Okay. What are we gonna do now? We actually want to play Maw of Cthulhu, because that's gonna open up our skull for next time. And what we're gonna do this time is we're gonna do Chaos Strike. Ooh, it's really tempting to play Metamorphin right now. But I think it would be... No, we have Chaos Leech. So we'll attack into the opponent instead. I was gonna hit my hero power button to gain 1 more attack to make it 3 and then attack into this minion, but that minion's already frozen, so it can't attack this turn. This minion is what's called dormant, so it's pretty much on the field but does nothing until it awakens, which will happen next turn. But we want to use our skull. Okay, we have 11 cards in the deck, so we still have Jace in the deck, and we still have 3 Cthulhu pieces in the deck. Another one?
The pit is true.
That's cool. So, my brain hurts from all the strategy. Perfect. Perfect. So, if this is an outcast, then it costs 1. We want to really draw into some Cthulhu pieces with this.
Warlock.
No Cthulhu pieces. All right. So we'll do Chaos Strike. Okay, there's a Cthulhu piece. All right, now let's play some minions. Let's play our Fellgorger. Ooh, we actually have what we need to take out both of his monsters now. So we can push our button to do that exact play I wanted last time. But now we have Fell Barrage here, and that'll take out his other minion. So we did great. Okay, now he's gonna get his Phoenix here, which gives him spell damage +2. So if a spell would usually damage for 3, now it does 5. So he's probably gonna have some spells in his hand that deal damage that he's planning on using. Because I'm not gonna let that Phoenix live for another turn. Spell damage +2 is too risky. Oh no! Oh wait, I have no minions in my hand. Whoops. So the reason I was freaking out is because this guy will take a minion out of my hand, destroy it, and then give it stats to that minion. But I don't have any minions in my hand. I only have spells. There's a minion that it would have been devastating if he got. But lucky me. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Chaos Leech here. That'll heal me for 5 and take out his minion. Then we'll play Eye of Cthulhu. That will deal 7 damage to the face of my opponent. And then we will do one more ourselves. Next turn, we might be set up for a 1-punch with Jace. I think we're... Oh, I should have played my Sigil of Silence, because I think I'm going to use Jace next turn. Next turn, I'm going to do Fury, which will rank up to 3, and then Jace. So we'll see how he handles this. Maybe if he doesn't play a lot of minions, I won't play it. I won't play Jace. If he puts a lot of minions out, I'll totally play Jace. But if he just uses spells to take out my minions, then I'll probably play Body of Cthulhu that will give me a 6/6 with Taunt. Okay, so he did both. So, yeah, what I'm gonna do... 4 cards in my deck. Yeah, I'm gonna play Body of Cthulhu. And then I'm gonna play Sigil of Silence. And attack for 1. Okay, and this has me set up for Jace. I want my opponent to have some minions because, like we saw last game, when I recast all my Fel spells, a lot of them target minions, and if my opponent doesn't have any minions, then they start targeting my own minions. So, let's see what he does next. I'd like it if he played one more minion.
My time has come to give everything I've got.
What is this? Deal 6 damage to the enemy hero. Twice? Summon 2/3 elementals with taunt. And his hero power is restore 6 health to all friendly... Ooh! Oh, okay. Okay, so you'll notice that the enemy hero now has 5 armor.
I'm coming.
Oh, devolving missiles. So that just takes my minion and changes him into a minion with smaller cost. Okay, this is actually good. This is good. I don't think we're set up for a 1-punch kill. But we'll see. Fury rank 3 gives me +4 attack, and that's a Fel spell. And then I'm gonna play Jace.
Amidst the flames,
So this is gonna really buff my attack and heal me. I don't think I'm gonna get all the way to 18 though.
not many cards left.
Let's see. I got 15. Oh, is that it? That's it. 1 punch from Jace. So you can see next turn we would play the Heart of Cthulhu, which would give us Cthulhu for the follow-up turn. And that would have been our 2-punch. So yeah, that is... Thank you for the GGs, Chrono. That is the 1-2 punch deck, my Jace Cthulhu. Now, there's one other deck. And this is my favorite deck because it really plays into the deck building. So, this deck, because you'll notice I had a quest on the last deck, but I really didn't do anything with it. This is the Deathrattle Quest Priest deck. So what this deck does... Thank you, Chrono. Pretty amazing win with missing a turn at the beginning. Yeah, it set me back a little bit, but yeah, not too much. That deck I was just using might be my most well-rounded deck. It can punch hard at the beginning, and as I punch hard at the beginning, it makes my end game better and better. But this deck, Seek Guidance, so I need to play a cost 2, 3, and 4. And if I do that, then the next part of the quest is playing a cost 5 and 6. And if I do that, then the next part of the quest is playing a cost 7 and 8. And if I do that, I will get a card that will just instantly win the game for me. So the play style of this deck is very different. The whole point of the game is to play the costs of your cards in the right order. So if I play a cost 2 and a 3, but I don't get a cost 4, I don't get credit for playing 5 and 6. I have to play it 2, 3, 4, then 5, 6, then 7, 8. And so I've had to construct this whole deck around the idea of me getting low cards, and then mid cards, and then high cards. Oh, I'm playing a paladin.
The light shall bring victory.
Okay, so right now I need cards that cost 2, 3, and 4. So this 5 and 6 are not going to cut it. So we need them out of here. We need lower costs. There's a 3 and a 2. Perfect. Okay, so we go first, and we're gonna play Seek Guidance. 2, 3, and 4. So this tells the story of Zerilia. So Zerilia goes to an oracle because her daughter is dying. And the oracle says you need to go find the shard of Naru. And so this is what we're doing for the first part of the quest. We're seeking guidance. We go and we play a cost 2.
Job done. The identity mine is mine.
Uh-oh. So this minion is one that we had in our deck earlier. Whenever I play a spell, it's going to duplicate that. And all I can play is spells. I feel like I gotta risk it. That's perfect. Silence all minions. Even though I already played a 2, I really need a 2 to compete with what my opponent had. And that's what makes this deck so interesting. It's like, okay,
Really, it's not too heavy.
you know, I really need to balance playing my cards in the right order with, let's see, so I need to play a 3 with staying alive. Because remember, it doesn't matter what my opponent's health is at. If I can reach the end game of this deck, it's an instant win.
I cannot wait to read these.
All right, so I really need a 4-cost card. Okay, this one lets me discover a spell from my deck. Let's see if we can get a 4-cost spell. There's a 4-cost spell, but we had to use 2 to get to it. All right, so we're gonna play our showstopper again. Oh, I can hear the baby crying again. All right, well, we will call this our last game, win or lose. And then we'll see who's on. and we'll go from there. Oh, he got it.
Reporting for duty.
Okay. I know, poor kid. Okay, so we've got our 4-cost card. So it's not advantageous for us to play this right now, but we're gonna play it anyway because we need to progress the quest. We did seek guidance. Now what happens next in the story of Zerilia is she finds a void chart. And so in order to complete this part of the quest, we need to play a 5 and a 6. And you can see our hand is set up with a 5 and a 6. All right, that's gonna be my wife telling me that the baby is crying. So just a second.
I do love a good study session.
Okay, let's wrap this up. Okay, so we need to play a 5 and a 6. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by playing our 5.
This is not what we stood for.
And we're gonna heal ourselves here. And then next turn, we'll play this light shower elemental as our 6. Okay, so yeah, my guy had that bubble, that divine shield bubble. And so you'll notice the reason I played this guy, Forward Ring, was because when he dies, I draw my highest cost minion. So I'm setting up for the next part of the quest with a 7 and an 8.
Reporting for duty. The path is clear for the worthy.
We want Zerilia. There it is. Okay, so I'm gonna do something that's rude, but I'm gonna let my time expire and I'm gonna go see if I can comfort the baby real quick. So I will be right back.
I wonder. Let's move quickly.
Baby's on the top floor and I'm in the basement.
I must have slain 100 or so.
See, so you can see he's getting quite an army up there.
Reporting for duty.
But I can come back from this. Okay. So I need a 7 and an 8. We're gonna play the 8 and end our turn. And if we live to the next turn, we should be able to wipe out all of the opponent's minions. With this play, Zerilia, the quest that we're on, if you've restored health this turn, deal that much damage to all enemy minions. And I've got another card that will restore 5 health to each hero. So if I'm down, so you can see I'm at 24. I don't even need to do that yet. I can take this Hysteria spell and cause this minion to attack all the other minions over there. Okay. Now I'll play Deathhead Cultist and my Amulet of the Undying.
Amazed and dazed.
And so now you can see we've made quite the comeback. Our next card is a 7. 12 cards in our deck. We do kind of want to whittle down those cards in our deck, because the card that we get that gives us the instant win goes in our deck and we need to draw it.
My blood.
Okay, so in the next part of Zerilia's quest, we find the we have found the Void Shard, and now we need to purify it. And so that's what the Illuminate the Void part of the quest is.
Dazed.
Reporting for duty.
Okay. So we're gonna play our 7, and that will finish our quest. Ooh, that's a good one to eat. Okay, so we have now purified the Void Shard, and that gives us the card Zerilia the Sanctified. And her battle cry, when I put her into play, her effect is shuffle the purified shard into your deck. So, our next turn we're going to play Zerilia the Sanctified and Spirit Guide. And then all we have to do is draw the Purified Shard, which is a 10 cost spell that says win the game. What does this guy do? Draw a Rush minion, a Taunt minion, and a Divine Shield minion. Ooh, gross.
I do love a good study session.
Yeah, he's gonna beef him right up. Okay, so we're gonna play Zerilia the Sanctified.
The darkness from your heart.
So let me show you the card. Purified Shard. So you can see right there, destroy the enemy hero, and you'll see that it's a holy type spell. So now if we play Spirit Guide, when Spirit Guide is destroyed, it will let us draw a holy spell. Now I have other holy spells in my deck, but we're gonna see if we can get that one. Alright, we're gonna attack into here, and that's gonna end our turn. Okay, so all we need to do is live until we draw the purified spell. We have about a 8% chance of drawing it, but as the game goes on, that percentage is going to go higher. Especially if this guy dies. If this guy dies, then we're going to draw 1, maybe 2 cards from our deck.
Strengthen our resilience.
Oh, nuts.
Wait to read these.
Okay, did we draw it? Nope, we got a different holy spell. Okay, time for that Zerilia combo I was telling you about. So we play Desperate Prayer. Then Desperate Prayer. Then Zerilia, and this will do 10 damage to all the opponent's minions, wiping them all out.
It's a miracle.
Okay, we want to draw as many cards as we can from our deck. We're gonna start with Insight, which will let us draw a minion. That's good. That's a minion that lets us draw a card, so we want to play that.
Miracle.
My opponent is being sarcastic now. Made him a little salty.
Not too quickly.
We'll choose Focused Will.
It's a miracle.
Okay, we'll end there. So we have a pretty good chance of winning this. There's now 7 cards in our deck, which gives us a much better shot of drawing the card we need.
To throw the book at you. I'm going to throw the book at you.
It's a miracle.
All right, we're gonna play Light Shower Elemental. We'll play Focused Will. Then we'll play Raised Dead. Yeah, and then we'll play another Death Head Cultist. And we're gonna squelch our opponent because they're being obnoxious. We want this guy to die. Still not drawing the card we're looking for. But we are doing okay. So we've got those 3 guys standing in front of us. They're supposed to be guarding us until we can draw the card we need.
Saddle up.
Ooh, I wish I could silence all of those guys. Oh, I can. Trigger every death rattle of a friendly minion that died this game. That's what's going to get us the win right there. Unless we draw it here? Nope. Okay, we're gonna play Zerilia the Devout.
Those we love are never truly lost.
Alright, we'll restore some health, but we should be drawing some cards and silencing some enemies. Gain armor, restore health. There's gonna be a lot of restore healths in there. This Zerilia card. And there it is, Purified Shard.
No time.
Okay, this is the deal. How much damage do they have at 16, 20? So they have 22, 24. They have 24 damage on board.
In my folly.
No, that's not gonna do it. They're gonna attack with everything and it's not going to kill us, and then we will get to play Purified Shard. Let's see if they quit. Because if they've been paying attention, they know I have 1 card in my deck, so it's guaranteed I will have it at the start of my next turn.
Out of cards.
And there we go, Purified Shard.
Be purified.
Destroys the enemy, and we win the game. Okay. Well, thanks for coming tonight. We're gonna do a quick raid. Let's see, who is on? We're gonna raid Scooter. Looks like he's playing. But again, thanks for coming. This was really fun for me. I'm gonna go get my baby, but we're gonna go ahead and get this raid started. What a scary card. Yeah, but you saw what it takes to get it. You have to build your whole deck around it. You have to play your cards in the right order, but yeah, it's cool. All right, we're gonna jump over to Scooter. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate you, and I will see you guys on Thursday. Thank you, Chrono.
arcade to